Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. I am Pat for Pat's Path Predictor, and the main story so far is basically the whole New Year's Day snowstorm that's going to happen. The main issue of concern that I have for right now is the severe weather risk for tomorrow, which is tomorrow. This is by the way, Happy New Year's Eve. So I hope your 2021 went all right. I know for me, just 2021, it wasn't my worst year, but it wasn't my best either. I mean, I did start this channel 4 months ago, and I just want to take a moment before the video to say, just to say, I'm really surprised at how fast this channel has grown. I started this on August 31st, 2021, and here we are 4 months later. The channel has 400, as of right now, at the time of recording, 465 subscribers. So I know my channel has grown a lot faster than like a lot of other accounts. Really, just a lot of other accounts on YouTube. Like my channel is growing faster than probably a majority of YouTube channels right now, new ones that is. And I really want to take a moment to say before the video, to say thank you for subscribing and thank you for checking out the channel and everything like that. It's very much appreciated. I appreciate every single one of you every single day, and it's very humbling to see so many people coming, so many people coming and watching my videos and everything. It's really humbling, man. I did not expect. I really did not expect it to be like this. But with that being said, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope you have a good New Year's Eve. I hope you have you enjoy. Hope you enjoy road to 2022. The pave the road to the 2022. But stay safe as there's a huge amount of COVID cases going on and everything like that. So I want you guys to stay safe with that as well, and also stay safe with the weather as well. And let's go ahead and get right into it. So what we're looking at is the severe weather outlook for today, the 31st. There's a slight risk right there. That's not my main issue of concern, but we are going to read a little bit of this. This is basically the summary. Scattered severe thunderstorms remain possible, mainly from late evening towards overnight across parts of the south central states through towards the Tennessee Valley. Okay. Within a large scale, is the synopsis. We'll just read this real quickly. Within a large scale trough over the western CONUS, one shortwave trough just off the coast of Baja California will eject east-northeastward to the southern high plains tonight in advance of another shortwave trough digging south-southwestward from the Pacific Northwest to the desert southwest. In response to the ejecting Baja trough, the Lee cyclogenesis is expected across the southern Colorado and northeastern New Mexico. This cyclone will begin to develop eastward along a sharp baroclinic zone late in the period as cold air damming occurs along the high plains. This is in English. This basically means it's talking about the two fronts that are in Baja and the Pacific Northwest. It's just basically explaining those two are going to merge together and everything and start this this extreme weather. So I'm not going to really get too deep into this, but I am going to go ahead and outline the risks for tonight. The tornado risk is not particularly high. It's a 5% chance within a 25 miles of your area. So it's not particularly high, but it still warrants this slight risk issued. Wind 15% chance right there in 25 miles area. Same with hail, except it's consolidated in a smaller area. So yeah, all these meet the criteria for slight risk, but so I'm not going to get any more into this, but the main threat I'm really concerned about is this. This is for tomorrow, New Year's Day, and this is part of that winter storm that's going to dump potentially up to a feet of snow, maybe 8 to 10, maybe up to 8 inches of snow in Chicago and those areas. But this is my main area of concern right here. Already a day out, they've issued an enhanced risk area that's particularly large, but this isn't the main thing I'm really concerned about. We'll talk about that a little bit later. This is the summary right here. We'll go through the synopsis and everything like that. There is an enhanced risk of severe storms across portions of the Deep South and Tennessee Valley, corrected for significant tornado line type. We'll explain that in a little bit. Here's the summary. Widespread thunderstorms are expected from Arkansas, Louisiana, Arklatex to the western Appalachians New Year's Day. All severe weather hazards are possible, including large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes, a couple of which may be strong. We'll go ahead and talk about that in just a minute. Here's the synopsis. A positive tilted upper level trough will be centered near the Great Basin to the start of the period. This trough will maintain its positive tilt as it shifts eastward across the plains into the Midwest by 12 Zulu, or about 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 6 a.m. Central Time, Sunday. An embedded mid-level shortwave trough will move quickly through the southern high plains across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley Saturday and to the northwest by Sunday morning. A surface reflection of this mid-level shortwave trough is expected to travel along the front from the Ozarks to the Ohio Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic. Now let's see. All right, this is the area I'm most concerned about right here. Portions of the Deep South, including the Tennessee Valley. Up there was the Ohio Valley and everything, which they might see some severe storms and everything, but that's not the biggest area of concern. The Cape is actually just 250 to 500 joules per kilogram, which that's enough to maybe have a short-lived severe thunderstorm, but it's generally not. It's not the most concerning part. This is the most concerning part to me. Portions of the Deep South into the Tennessee Valley. A large area of thunderstorms, some of which may be severe, is expected to be ongoing from western Kentucky to northern Texas Saturday morning. As the surface low moves from the high plains into the Ozarks Sunday morning, this convection is expected to become better organized, likely into a squall line, never good, and start to advance eastward. Dew points are forecast to the mid to upper 60s ahead of these storms. Again, that's not a good sign. These were the dew points of that outbreak that occurred 3 weeks ago. So it's generally overall, it points to this potentially being a bad severe weather outbreak. Weather outbreak, which these yield a Cape of around 500 to 1500 joules per kilogram from north to south. Now, 1500 joules per kilogram, that's what's concerning me here. The reason it's concerning me here is because this could be enough to cause supercell development. Maybe it's enough to spawn tornadoes and everything like that. We'll talk about the tornado threat in a little bit, but yeah, that's the area of most concern for me. This should be more than sufficient to maintain a strong squall line through the afternoon into the overnight hours across eastern Arkansas, most of Tennessee, and northern Mississippi and Alabama. A 50 to 60 knot low-level jet will result in a strong low-level speed shear across the entire warm sector. Forecast soundings show mostly under unidirectional flow at the lowest 1 kilometer due to veered surface flow across most of the warm sector as a result of the elongated nature of the surface pressure pattern. This should temper the tornado threat somewhat, but with the strong speed shear and the expectation of a well-balanced squall line, the environment should still be supported for the QLCS tornadoes. Most guidance hints the potential of some warm sector supercell development across portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Saturday afternoon/evening. The ECMWF has been especially bullish. It has been especially bullish. I'm just trying to find my place. Oh, wrong. They just updated it. They just updated. Yeah, they just updated. Okay. This is the new update. This is the latest that just came in. So, a more conditional but concerning environment be in place. Will be in place in parts of the Tennessee Valley and Mid South on New Year's Day as the upper trough of the west approaches. The new strong low level winds and vertical wind shear is expected to become established over this region, with forecasts sounding to be large curving hodographs and effective SRH values of over 3,000 meters per second 3,000 meters squared per second squared. The surface dew points near 70 degrees Fahrenheit, not a good sign, will yield an afternoon K values of around 1,000 joules per kilogram, which is favorable conditional environment for supercell tornadoes. However, a consensus of the model guidance is quite insistent on a warm nose around 7 to 800 millibars will be maintained through most of the day. This will limit the number of storms that will form and may limit the updraft strength that those do. Virtually all 12 Zulu or 6 a.m. CAM guidance show weak UH tracks despite a few storms following. Given these trends, we will maintain the ongoing enhanced risk. However, there is acknowledgement of the risk of a higher end event, including strong tornadoes if later guidance shows a weak mid-level warm nose and a more robust discrete convective development over the warm sector. All right, that's interesting. That's that's interesting right there. Yeah. So let's go ahead and go over those. Let's go ahead and go over those risks right there. So we'll start with the tornado threat. Yeah. So it's still concentrated in that area. It looks like they actually expanded the enhanced risk area a little bit. So yeah, they did expand. Yeah, it looks like they did expand it. So yeah, that's not a good sign right there. No, it's basically, before I go any further, this in English means that there is the possibility that this might be what happened a couple of days ago, where it just was a little bit of a line of storms that just moved through. None got very severe and everything, but there is acknowledgement of a higher event, including strong tornadoes. If layer guidance shows a weak mid-level warm nose and a more robust discrete convective development over the warm sector, which in English that means if the conditions get more favorable. But yeah, I believe they actually expanded this. So let's take a quick look. The tornado threat. This is what I am most concerned about right here. There's a 10% chance of risk right there, but it's in that hatched risk area right here. Before they expanded this, it encompassed all of the enhanced risk area, so generally not a good sign. It includes parts of Tennessee, eastern Arkansas, northern Mississippi and Alabama, parts of Georgia, including the cities of Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, Little Rock, and Huntsville. The significant severe, which is what this is also known as, includes Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, Huntsville, and Chattanooga. So, yeah, pretty heightened risk for some tornadoes. The 5% area, which is this right here, it's in the slight risk area. It encompasses the city parts of Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, most of Kentucky, and Boot Heel, Missouri. Those cities include Atlanta, Louisville, Lexington, Fayette, Montgomery, and Shreveport. So be careful with that. Now the 2% area, which is the marginal risk, it encompasses a very large area, including most of Louisiana, more of Texas, parts of southeastern Oklahoma, more of Arkansas, a little bit more into Missouri, just creeping into southern Illinois, as well as southern Indiana, southern Ohio, most of the state of West Virginia, parts of western Virginia, parts of western North Carolina, western South Carolina, more of Georgia, the rest of Alabama, a little bit of the Florida Panhandle, and the rest of Mississippi. Includes cities of New Orleans, Cincinnati, Baton Rouge, Mobile, and Columbus. So, I would take this threat very seriously. I would, I'm going off hunch and I'm taking this very seriously. I would take this very seriously because they expanded the enhanced risk area right here. It was concentrated here. Now they expanded it a little bit. But I would take it very seriously no matter what. This is the wind. That's odd. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is the wind threat right here. This is probably the greatest threat right here. Hail is the least threat we'll talk about in a second. This is probably the greatest threat right here. 30% chance right here from parts of eastern Arkansas and most of Tennessee and parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and southern Kentucky. So yeah, this is it right here. This is area of concern. Includes the same areas as well. 15% same areas, 5% same areas. Now the hail threat, it's more concentrated more towards the southern part of it, including most of Arkansas, most of Mississippi, parts of Alabama, parts of Tennessee, parts of Texas and Louisiana as well. This is the smallest threat right here. This is the least threat right here. 5% area includes more of the areas around Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, the Boot Heel, Missouri, a little slither of southern Illinois, western Kentucky, more of Tennessee, northwestern Georgia, extreme northwestern Georgia actually, more of Alabama, and more of Mississippi. So there that is right here. Let's actually go ahead and go in the GFS model just to do a quick check on it. So we'll start at 6 p.m. There it goes. It says 6 a.m. Then those storms, you see those storms developing right here in this area. There's that snowstorm I was mentioning earlier. We'll talk a little bit about that. This is where it's going to be. In the next 6 hours, it's going to be in the Chicago area right here, into parts of Milwaukee. Yeah, this will probably be the heaviest, the heaviest snow right there for you guys, as well as right there. Right there, you're still going to get some snow. It should be over by noontime on the 2nd, except if you're on the coast of Lake Michigan, you might see some lake effect snow, and that's pretty much it. This is basically this is from article from the Weather Channel, just talking about the setup of this thing. After it merges in parts of Colorado and New Mexico, it's going to move. It's going to move over, dump a good amount of snow. 8 to 12. This is 8 to 12 inches of snow. This is 8 to 12 inches of snow right there in parts of northern Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois. 5 to 8 inches in the Chicago area. So that should be a good amount of snow for you guys. So yeah, this we'll actually talk about this as well. There are winter storm warnings in effect right now for parts of Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois. Winter storm watch in effect for the Chicago area. So yeah, this you guys are getting one heck of a snowstorm. But with that being said, that's gonna wrap up the video right here. This is the main thread I want to talk about right here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed it. This weather analysis. Stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this weather analysis. Stay safe, everybody, especially with what's happening with the severe weather risk tomorrow. Have a happy new year, and this will be the last. I think this will be the last video of 2021. So, yay! I hope 2022 will be a little bit better. But with that being said, that's going to wrap it up. Stay safe, everybody.